Flight boss, bitch. For sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Terry's Moon. I'm the Royal Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucker responsibilities. And this video right here is going to be about be careful who you share your monkey ass energy with. And I mean that. Because here's the thing. Be careful who you cast pearls in front of, especially if they're swine. Because swine, all they do is eat like motherfucking pigs. And they eat your energy up all the way to the point that these motherfuckers become convinced that your energy is their energy. But before we even get too deep, here's the thing. Be careful who you share your energy with. Because you could be sharing your energy with individuals that it leads nowhere. It becomes a motherfucking dud when you are in a relationship with this individual in some way, shape, or form. Here's the thing, right? What is your motherfucking energy? Your thoughts and your feelings. And when you bring these things together, it creates a substance, a force. Now, if what you creating is gold, you're going to attract a bunch of other spirits in some way, shape, or form, especially individuals that may be close to you or per se. Now, here's the thing, right? If they don't know how to create gold, then their whole way of thinking that they have some type of creative spirit or their whole way of thinking that they have some type of energy, they actually come up with an internal mission of, if I could bring your energy around them, this is how they think. If they could bring your energy around them, then that validates them having a source of energy. Because however that they see you, if you're giving them time and you're paying attention to them, then that validates them to make them seem like they can be exalted, they can be pushed up, or they mean something. And then if you allow a dumb, deaf, blind sheep or a weak individual around you to drink your energy like that, for the most part, that don't know how to create it on their own, then slowly but surely, they're going to start feeling justified, because they're going to start looking at the world like the energy you got, they got that energy also. And then when they're on their own and they're not reciprocating that same kind of energy in some way, shape, or form, they're going to hold you at fault for it. Like it's something that you're not doing in some way, shape, or form, because you have allowed this demon to bring you down into their world. And this demon thought they was actually in your world in some way, shape, or form. So you got brought down a couple levels other than raising motherfuckers up to your level in some way, shape, or form. So it's always going to lead into disgruntled disagreements and clingy kind of energy that you don't even necessarily want to be a part of anymore, once you start to realize you have been brought down into someone else's arena, and someone else's arena is a very hellistic state. So keep that in mind also, because a person will make a mission to validate their own energy by having you around, and then that justify them having energy. And then if you let them do that for so long, slowly but surely, they'll start to think that your energy is their energy. And then they'll start to see yours, they'll start to see themselves the same way you see yourself. And then when they don't receive the same reciprocation, you end up becoming their worst enemy in some way, shape, or form. You end up being the person that have to walk on eggshells around them. You end up being the individual that have to sit back and try to figure out what's going on within this person's mind, because they're stumbling over something new, of something that you've been in for the longest in some way, shape, or form. You see what I'm saying? So when people start to go over early stages of a space that you have already experienced, because you already been vibrating in that energy, you already got the consumption of the energy substance that this person is reaching for, and this person is utilizing you as a shortcut to get to your position that you didn't take no shortcuts for. So for the most part, they're not respecting the struggle. They're not respecting, right now they're getting outweighed and thrown around by all the feelings and emotions you've been thought and been felt and been reacted and responded to and been got comfortable with and been stopped giving a fuck about. You know what I'm saying? You already been through all those many astral travels to get there. So you respect the struggle. So when you come back and try to absorb yourself around other people who may not have that same magnitude to create a spaceship to get to point A to point B the same way you got, their whole mission that they're going to develop to justify or validate their energy is how well they can create something to get you around in their space. Then once you come back in their space, right, they're going to start to see themselves the same way you see yourself, as if they was in the space that you was already in, as if you didn't come back down to their space in some way, shape, or form. And the moment that they don't see the representations that you see when you are in this space, they're going to start to hold you accountable for that in some way, shape, or form, because you have gave them too much cloth. You have gave them too much information. You have gave them too much light. You have gave them too much ego. You have gave them too much energy that they ate up to make them believe that they're in the same presence as you in some way, shape, or form. And once you start to get into that energy where this person is not actually being an asset, it's actually being a liability, or a person that's starting to portray as just wasting your time in some way, shape, or form, then this when you know that you have cast your pearls in front of the wrong swine. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't cast your pearls in front of similar other individuals who know how to cast pearls just as well as you. You cast your pearls in front of a swine, and then you started to care too much for the swine. And you need to know that the swine will never see things from the perspective of the individual that can cast pearls. Let me repeat. The swine will never see things on the same level as the individual that casts the pearls. So the swine will never respect the struggle. The swine won't even understand the struggle. The swine constantly will try to take shortcuts. Oh, we need to eat now. We need to get fed now. And for the most part, miss the whole gratification of the substance that you need to even get from point A to point B. So you're always going to stay at point A, just imagining that you at point B, or trying to bring figures from point B into your point A and try to use them as stepping stones to get to point B, and therefore you will never get to point B. And then you would just leave everybody who's at point B will leave you at point A, or leave you between realms in some way, shape, or form, until you understand how to solidify your own spaceship and your own mentality on what you're trying to do in some way, shape, or form. So never put yourself into this situation if you're on the opposite side of this energy, where you allowing another individual to give you too much energy, and then you're psyching yourself up thinking that you are a part of the same substance that this individual is a part of. Because see, if you even in this mind state, you're kind of like in a using spirit. You're just trying to use individuals for things that you don't necessarily have on your own. So for the most part, you have to be very careful that you're not, because you always gonna get blood on your hands, and you always gonna get let up to be let down. You're gonna set yourself up to be sat down in some way, shape, or form. So keep that in mind, where you're gonna have hopes based upon this external version of a person, place, or thing to get you from that point A to point B. And when that individual or group of individuals don't actually portray that energy, then you're going to place the blame on them on why you're still at point A, not knowing that people at point B want to surround themselves with a bunch of other individuals at point B in some way, shape, or form. And if they are going to help an individual at point A, then the point A individual got to have some form of appreciation. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have some form of resistance when it comes to their desires and egotistical energies and things of that nature. So keep that in mind also. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some form of harmonious energy with the people that's at from point A to point B, and then you want to actually get to point B. You got to actually have some respect in some way, shape, or form. Otherwise, you might be just living in la la land in some way, and think that you mean something more than you actually mean. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't actually have to do anything for anybody, right? So when we're not actually appreciating and respecting individuals that actually paved the way or actually done something for individuals and things of that nature, and then we're getting into some type of negative end on it, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm pretty sure all of y'all in the soul group probably have experienced this. I've experienced this in some way, shape, or form, where motherfuckers take your kindness for weakness, take your energy for granted, and then talk to you like you ain't really who you is, and then you could clearly look at them and everything that they manifest in their life, and like, this person wouldn't even know how to take care of themselves if motherfucker a wet paper bag motherfucker slapped them in the face. So for the most part, like that kind of circumstance, like, you know what I'm saying, we all went through this this circumstance. Be careful who you give your motherfucking energy to. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind, soul group. You know what I'm saying? And I love y'all from the motherfucker bottom of my heart. You know what I'm saying? Especially and this is like a 10 group of people. This motherfuckers, even right now, motherfuckers still got my motherfucker songs on the goddamn internet that I've been told them I don't give a fuck. If I told you you can get on the record, I changed my mind. I no longer like you on the motherfucking record. Delete the motherfucking shit. So the more a person don't jump into the energy with deleting it, when I very well deleted something ahead when a motherfucker asks me to, then that's not showing resilience. That's not showing esoteric respect. That's not showing boundaries on a motherfucking energy. If a motherfucker don't want you a part of their motherfucking energy anymore, you detach yourself away from that motherfucking shit. Unless you want to go down and expire with everything that's dead from the individual that don't want that energy no more anyway. So, I mean, it's up on you. But for the most part, like I said, this is a psyche for everybody to understand. Be careful who the fuck you give your motherfucking energy to, because it ain't nothing but fucking vampires out here, motherfucking swine out here, and motherfuckers who don't got their own motherfucking energy, and they just dying to take shortcuts, aka they gonna die trying to take shortcuts. Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. And I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. You better believe it.